Welcome in. I'm Hunter Kanoki, and this is Fool's FAQ, a show where I take the internet's most burning questions and give you an answer that'll make you the smartest person at your next chewing contest. On today's episode, 7 years of stomach drama. Picture this. You're sitting in math class, working your way through a piece of Trident, when suddenly your teacher calls your name. In a moment of panic, and down goes the gum. Almost immediately, that familiar dread creeps in. You remember what your mom always said, what your older brother warned you about, what seemed to be universal playground wisdom. That wad of gum is now going to sit in your stomach like a rubber boulder for the next 7 years. 7 whole years. I mean, think about that timeline. If you swallowed that gum in the 3rd grade, it would theoretically still be camping out in your digestive system when you graduate high school. That's longer than most people keep their smartphones. Longer than the average relationship, and certainly longer than anyone should have to worry about a 30-second mistake. And let's be honest, gum does seem pretty indestructible. You probably stepped on the stuff and notice how it clings to your shoe. You've seen it harden under desks, survive multiple trips through the washing machine on jeans, and generally behaves like it was designed by NASA to withstand the apocalypse. The fear is so widespread that parents have been using it as a deterrent for generations. A warning so ominous and specific that it just has to be true, right? After all, why would everyone believe it if there wasn't some serious science behind it? Well, let's first tackle the elephant in the room. Where did the 7-year myth even come from? The truth is, nobody really knows the exact origin. The medical experts have a pretty good theory. It likely started as a well-intentioned scare tactic by parents trying to keep kids from swallowing non-food items. And honestly, it worked pretty well for generations. Dr. Simon Travis, a gastroenterology professor at Oxford University, puts it perfectly. He said, quote, "I have no idea about the origin of this myth. I can only speculate that it was propagated by someone aiming to deter children from chewing gum," unquote. Mission accomplished, mystery parent from decades past. But here's what actually happens when you swallow gum. Absolutely nothing dramatic. Your body treats that piece of gum like it treats corn kernels, or sunflower seeds, or any other tough-to-digest material. It just pushes through your system and out the other end. Dr. Nancy McGreal, a gastroenterologist at Duke University, explains it beautifully. She said, quote, "The gum base is insoluble, just like the fiber base of raw vegetables, corn, popcorn kernels, and seeds. Our bodies do not possess digestive enzymes to specifically break down gum base," unquote. So, while your stomach can't break down gum the same way it breaks down a sandwich, your digestive system absolutely can move it along through normal intestinal activity. Now, you might be wondering, if we can't digest gum, what exactly are we putting in our mouths? Modern chewing gum is basically an engineered marvel that comes a long way from its ancient origins. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors were already onto something good. The ancient Greeks chewed masaky, sap from the masac tree, to clean their teeth and freshen their breath. Greek women particularly favored this natural gum for its antiseptic properties. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the Mayans were enjoying chicle, the sap from the sapodilla tree, which they called cha. Native Americans in New England chewed spruce tree resin, a habit they passed on to European settlers. The modern gum industry really took off in the 1840s when American businessman John Curtis saw a market opportunity and started making state of Maine pure spruce gum. Now, today's gum is a far cry from tree sap. The mysterious gum base that makes up 15 to 30% of modern gum is typically a blend of synthetic rubbers, resins, waxes, and softeners. The FDA allows 46 types of different chemicals under the umbrella term gum base, including everything from polyvinyl acetate, which is essentially a type of plastic, to natural latexes. It's basically designed to be the perfect chewable substance. Elastic enough to stretch, soft enough to be pleasant, but tough enough that your teeth can't break it down. So, here's a million-dollar question. How long does swallowed gum actually stay in your system? The answer might surprise you with how boringly normal it is. Food generally takes 14 to 58 hours to move through your digestive tract, with the average being about 28 hours. That swallowed piece of gum, well, it follows basically the same timeline. A registered dietitian at the Cleveland Clinic confirms by saying, quote, "It takes 40 hours, just as food does, to make its way through your digestive system and out through stool," unquote. The journey starts in your stomach, where the gum hangs out for about 30 minutes to 6 hours, the same amount of time as any other food, and from there, it moves into the small intestine for 2 to 8 hours, then spends the bulk of its time in the colon before making its final exit. Now, before you start swallowing gum all willy-nilly, let's talk about when things can actually go wrong. While occasional gum swallowing is generally harmless, there are some real risks if you make it a habit. Main concern is something called a bezoar, essentially a hardened mass of indigestible material that can form in your digestive tract. In very rare cases, excessive gum swallowing can contribute to intestinal blockages, especially in children. Some medical literature documents several concerning cases. A 1998 study described 3 children who developed obstructions from habitual gum swallowing. More recently, doctors reported cases of children requiring surgical intervention to remove gum bezoars that cause serious blockages. There's also the wild documented case of a 53-year-old woman who swallowed approximately 25 pieces of nicotine gum per day for 3 years. When doctors performed a colonoscopy, they found at least 30 pieces of gum throughout her colon, with some pieces stuck to her intestinal diverticula. The risk increases when gum is swallowed alongside other indigestible materials like coins, sunflower seeds, and large amounts of other non-food items. As the Cleveland Clinic's team warns, quote, "If you do this every day or multiple times a day, it can cause an intestinal blockage," unquote. And kids are particularly at risk because they might not understand that gum should be chewed and not swallowed. That's why the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children shouldn't chew gum until they're at least 5 years old and fully understand that it's not meant to be swallowed. But overall, these things are not meant to scare you, they're just meant to make you aware. And here's the key point. These problems only arise when people swallow large quantities of gum regularly, or when gum combines with other indigestible objects. For the average person who accidentally swallows a piece of gum once in a while, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Your digestive system is remarkably efficient at moving things along, even when it can't completely break them down. So, what's the bottom line on swallowing gum? Well, the truth is refreshingly simple. It's really not that big of a deal if it happens occasionally. The 7-year myth is exactly that, a myth. Your body will pass swallow gum in a matter of days, not years, and dozens of medical professionals confirm this, from gastroenterologists at major medical centers to pediatricians specializing in foreign body ingestion. However, moderation is key. Habitual gum swallowing, especially large amounts or multiple pieces in a short time, can potentially cause problems, particularly in young children. The rare but documented cases of intestinal blockages remind us that while occasional accidental swallowing is fine, making it a regular practice isn't wise. For parents, the message is clear. Kids under 5 probably shouldn't have gum at all, and other children need to understand that gum is for chewing, not swallowing. For adults, if you accidentally swallow a piece here and there, don't stress about it. Your body's got this. Your digestive system is remarkably efficient at dealing with the weird stuff we accidentally ingest. From corn kernels to cherry pits to the occasional piece of gum, your gut knows how to keep things moving along. Thank you so much for listening to Fool's FAQ. Feel free to leave a 5-star rating wherever you get your podcasts, as it also helps new listeners discover the show. For more fascinating answers to your burning questions, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and always stay curious.